Story 1. The Whisper House, Salem, Massachusetts. Approx. 3 minutes. When Jenna's grandmother passed away, she inherited an old weather-worn colonial house just outside of Salem. It stood at the edge of a dark pine forest, the kind that never seemed to let sunlight through. The house had no modern wiring, no insulation, and no neighbors for half a mile. She moved in alone, hoping to use the place to write a novel. But from the very first night, things felt wrong. At exactly 2:17 a.m., she heard a voice whisper from inside the walls. It wasn't a whisper like wind or creaking wood. No, it was words. "You're not alone." She froze in bed, staring at the peeling ceiling. When she finally worked up the courage to check the house, there was nothing. No open windows, no signs of anyone. But every night after that, the whispers returned, and they got clearer. Sometimes it was her name. Sometimes it was crying. Once it was laughter. After 5 nights, she set up an old voice recorder next to the bedroom vent. The next morning, she played it back. For the first 10 minutes, nothing. Then suddenly, her own voice whispered through the speaker, "Let me in." Except, she never said that. She was asleep. She took the tape to a friend who worked in sound engineering. He ran filters on it. Behind her voice, faint and distorted, was another voice. Male, old, breathy. "Open the wall." They did. Behind the plaster, they found a narrow space filled with dolls, handmade human-like, and a journal written in an unbroken scrawl, starting in 1874. It ended with the words, "She is mine now." Jenna left the house that night and never returned, but every so often she receives voicemails. No caller ID, just the same whisper, "You're not alone." Story 2. The Motel Room, Route 66, Arizona. Approx. 2.5 minutes. Carlos was a mechanic who traveled cross-country fixing freight rigs. One night, tired and nearly falling asleep at the wheel, he pulled off Route 66 and checked into a rundown, blinking neon motel near Flagstaff. The place had seen better decades. He was given room 17. It smelled like bleach and mold, but he didn't care. He crashed on the bed fully clothed and passed out by 10:30 p.m. At 2:03 a.m., he jolted awake. It was freezing, not like AC cold. This was bone-deep cold, like being outside in January. Then he noticed the man in the corner, tall, silent, eyes reflecting red in the dim hallway light spilling through the curtains. Carlos couldn't move. Sleep paralysis? He blinked. The man was gone. He forced himself out of bed and rushed to the front desk. The manager looked confused. "There's no guest in 17. "I'm staying there," Carlos snapped. The manager turned pale. "That room's sealed. No one uses it. Not after..." He stopped. Carlos insisted on checking the registry. His name wasn't there. In the parking lot, as he stood beside his truck, he looked back at the motel. Room 17's light turned on. There was a man in the window. Carlos got in the truck and drove the entire night without stopping. But when he pulled into a gas station hours later and wiped the windshield, there were handprints on the inside glass. Small, freezing cold to the touch, and a message scratched into the frost. "You left too soon." Story 3. The Forest Watcher, Black Hills, South Dakota. Approx. 2.5 minutes. Tyler was a wildlife photographer who often ventured into remote regions to shoot rare footage of predators and migrations. In the fall of 2018, he took a solo trip to the Black Hills National Forest to photograph elk during rutting season. He pitched camp deep in the woods, far from trails, signs, or other humans. By day, he shot incredible footage. By night, he kept a campfire and a journal. On the second night, he noticed something unsettling. The forest had gone silent. No birds, no insects, not even wind. Then just beyond the tree line, he saw something crouched. A figure, pale, human-like, but wrong. The arms were too long. The legs were backward. He shouted. It didn't move. He turned on his flashlight. Nothing. Gone. Back at his tent, he checked his motion-activated trail cams. And what he saw chilled him. The creature had been standing just outside his tent. Not once, not twice, but every night for hours, just standing there, watching, head slightly tilted, never blinking. He packed everything and hiked out in near hysterics the next morning. He showed the footage to a ranger, who calmly said, "We don't talk about that, but you're lucky. Most don't get a warning." Later, when Tyler got home, he uploaded the footage to his computer. All the files were corrupted, except one, a single still image of the creature, close to the lens, and behind it, a second figure, also watching.